Okay. What's based from Rachmanis? What do you know about pity? Schmeichelt Rab David met Veitog und Badeuerung. Rab David smiles with pain and with regret. Ich bin aggressor abal rochamim funai. I am a greater person needing pity than you. Ich bin aggressor abal yisurim funai. I have more suffering than you. Springt auf Rab Levi when Retzgich. Rab Levi jumps up and speaks quickly. Die ois Moira as der Polotskedian soll nicht weggehen, eiler wird im Beweisen entfern, as if he was frightened that the Polotskedian would go away before he would be able to answer him. Wil zijn aan dat, you want to be someone who's persecuted. Redt zich ein, als leidet, weil seid an ish emes. You are persuading yourself that you are suffering because you are a man of truth. But ayar gava leidet hier, you are suffering because of your pride. But ayar gava seid ihr great makriv sein, felt for your pride, you are prepared to sacrifice a world. Oy lo lo lam shabadni ni manhig shabad manhigo oy la lasfina shabad cover nita. Woe to the world that has lost its leader, and woe to the ship that has lost, I assume, its captain. Wenn viele Rabbonim wollten nicht gewähren als solche Übergeschrockene, if the Vilna Rabbonim wouldn't have been so excessively frightened, wollten sie auf euch ausgerufen Acherem von Rotzen a geplockte jüdische Tochter. They would have excommunicated you for persecuting a plagued, a troubled Jewish daughter. Sturm trap David arois Sturm trap David arois in Dreußen und Rab Levi hat schon nicht wemmen zu entfernen. Rabbi Levi, Rab David storms out, and Rabbi Levi doesn't have anyone to answer. Nimmt herumlaufen über den Beit in Stiebel, also hastig. So he started running around the room of the Beis Din so quickly, as Josela ruckt sich op in a winkel, der Vetter soll ihm nicht zertreten, so that Josela, his nephew, moves himself into a corner so that his uncle shouldn't tread on him. Now this is a difficult one. This is, he should be excommunicated, and but I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Nidui cherem v'shimta. That's a question. Jacob?
Yeah, and the two words nidui and cherem are synonyms for the word cherem.
Yeah, for excommunication. And do you know what shimta is?
Shamta, no, I didn't look that up.
Okay. Wir wollen ausklappen zettlich auf dem Schulhof und machis der sein in aller Kleusen, als der gewessener Blotzkarteien, der gewessener, warum wird in Vilna kein Dayan nicht sein. So we will make known, we will stick on notices in the shul, in the shul
Yards.
yard, in the shul yard, um, to make known that all the uh, and make known in all the shuls that the once Polotsker Dayan, der Gewesener, who was a Dayan, because no longer will he be a Dayan in Vilna, as der Gewesener Polotsker Dayan is in Cherem, that uh,
Former.
the previous Polotsker Dayan is excommunicated. Trok zich Rabbi Levi even Cheder als geschwinter and geschwinter, and Rabbi Levi moves around in the room faster and faster. Bisman Habayit, at the time in the temple existed, when der Sanhedrin is gesessen, in the Yishchat Hagazit, and when the Sanhedrin sat and pronounced judgment, is Lishchat Hagazit
No,
correct pronunciation?
no, Lishkat Hagazis. Lishkas Hagazis it was a stone room in the temple area
Apparently that's where they
where
pronounced judgment.
where the Rabbonim used to sit and discuss certain things.
Okay. Voltim kommt Mita durch Chenek. I hope that's correct. He would have deserved death through strangulation. Lloyd Rambam wordt niet der Polotsker dem din von Asaken Mamre when it says kumtim nit kein chenek. According to the Rambam, the Polotsker Rav is not someone who is rebellious, an old man, and he doesn't deserve strangulation. Ze flakkert zich euch Josela unret zu sein, zu sich allein, euch auf dem Kohl. Josela flares up and speaks loudly to himself. Der Polotsker Dayan hat adin von einer Apikores und Karaimer, was lekenen in Torah Shebal Peh. The Polotsker Dayan deserves the judgment of an Apikores, an unbeliever, and a Karaite who refuse, who
Denies.
who deny, thank you, who deny the Torah, the oral Torah. And darfim arain warfen in our groove unit aroisnemen. We have to throw him into a hole and leave him there, not take him out. What talks to? What do you say? Gitzich Rablevi to him adrei ois. What are you saying? Rab Levi turns to him angrily. Josela wird ansprechen, Rab Levi trok sich weiter via Sturm. Josela is quiet, and Rab Levi carries on further like a storm. Hat Rachmanis auf der Aguna. He has pity on the Aguna. Euch auf an Ormen, Tormen kein Rachmanis nicht haben, wenn der Din is gegen ihn. Even on a poor man, you should not have pity if the law is against him. Yakub hadin min hahar, let justice take its course. But again, Yaakov, can you enlighten me on this one? Yakub hadin et hahar.
Yeah, Yaakov hadin et ahar. It's Yaakov. The law should follow its course, and that is have a cherem.
Let justice take its course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cherem, excommunication, al dat hamakom al adat hakahal, according to the wish of God and the wish of the congregation. Cherem, excommunication. Was schweigt ihr? Why are you quiet? Brilter zu die Rabbonim, was sitzen mit heruntergeloste Kep. He roars at the rabbis while sitting with heads with down, with heads let down. Ich hot, ihr hat sich erschrocken. Did you get a fright? Have you become fearful? Wer hat sich erschrocken? Who became fearful? Prophet Rab Shmuel Munia, Rufzian, Aponim, Ros Moiradik, Beetle, Shmeichala. Rab Shmuel Munia tries to put on his face his fearfully contemptuous smile. Erschrocken habe ich sich nach Lotin nicht. Altogether, I have not been frightened, nor lefi dati is cherem zu harb, but in my opinion, excommunication is too heavy. Rab Levi tut zu effen dem Rambam, was liegt auf dem Tisch und schreibt noch Hecher. Rab Levi opens the Rambam, the book of the Rambam that is sitting on the table, and shouts even more loudly, Cherem is too hard, excommunication is too heavy. Von Talmud Bavli und Talmud Bavli und von Talmud Yerushalmi is es nicht so hard. For the Jerusalem, for the Babylonian Talmud and for the Jerusalem Talmud, it's not too strict. Von Shulchan Aruch is es nicht too hard. It's not too strict for the Shulchan Aruch, the compendium of laws. Nor for Vilna Rabbonim is it too hard. Is it too heavy, therefore, for the Vilna rabbis? Rab Levi flickt die Blätter mit der Zicha, wenn heißt seine Chavedim reingucken in Sefer. Rabbi Levi turns over the pages with murderous intent and tells his comrades to look into his colleagues basically, to look into the book. Vor 24 Sachen ist man am Mensch menüde. For 24 items, one can excommunicate a person. So the Gemara tells us, und der Rambam rechnet euch die 24 Sachen, and the Rambam elaborates on the 24 items. For mevuzer sein atomit chochem afila noch enttäuscht, for being disrespectful to a wise man, a rabbi, even after their death. Und der Polotzker ist mevuzer die Vilner Talmidei Chochamim euch beim Leben, and the Polotzker rabbi has been disrespectful to the wise men even while they're alive. Many is Manude farmers.
This, sorry, Michael,
Yeah.
sorry to interrupt. This word is mevaze.
Oh, okay. I had it mavuse, but thank you for mavaze. Not sure where I got the mavuse. I looked it up in the Hebrew English dictionary. So anyway, but mavaze is fine.
Yeah, it's mevaze.
Okay, good. Thank you. Is mavaze, yeah, okay. Many is menude, and is it menade or menude?
I think it's menade.
Okay, and
Menade and mevaze.
okay, and for Mazilzul seiner viele in Divrei Sofrim, and one is excommunicated for being disrespectful, even to the works of the Sofrim who came after the Talmud. Und der Polotsker is Mazalzel, but I'm not sure what that is.
I think Mazalzel.
Mazalzel, what does that mean? Oh, disrespectful, yeah. And the Polotsker is also disrespectful to the words of the Torah. Maar niet nemen auf sich dem Psachtin, or not taking on himself the judgment of the Beit Din. Und der Polotsker lacht Vilna Rabbonim in Ponimarai, and he is laughing in your faces, for bringen zu Achilul Hashem, for showing, for Hashem,
causing a desecration of God's name.
Of God, yeah. Und wer noch hat ungemacht als Achilul Hashem, wie der Polotsker, and who has shown such, sorry, can you say it again, Achilul Hashem?
Desecration of God's name.
Desecration of God's name. Who has done it as much as the Polotsker? Verlegen a Streuchlung for a blinden, for putting a stumbling block in front of a blind person. Das heißt verführen a Menschen. That means leading someone astray. Und and him, der Zaken Mamre, this old man, what geheißen an elten Jeden, Kasmen hoben mit an Eshet ish. And this disrespectful old man has told an honest Jew to marry somebody else's wife, a married woman. Tomer is es wenig. If that is not enough, sagt der Rabbad, as man is Menade Talmid Chochem, was is Matir mit She'en Lahem Sof. And if that is not enough, the other Rabbi, Rabbad, says that one can excommunicate even a rabbi that is relenting in things. And how do you understand Michain Lahem Sof? Mayim, waters that have no end. So, is that anything? How do you interpret that? Mayim she'ein lahem sof. Matir mayim she'ein lahem sof.
Sorry, were you asking?
Yeah, I was asking you, how do you interpret, he is saying anyone who allows any, mayim she'ein lahem sof, anything against the law, how would you interpret that sentence?
Yeah, if Matir Mayim She'ein Lahem Sof, to permit something which, if you do permit it, there's no end to it. It causes incredible hardship.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Is that you see? Title Drop Levi mit dem Finger in Sefer und weiß seine Chaverim als der Rabbi hat gehabt Ruach HaKodesh. So Rabbi Levi points with his finger in the book and shows his colleagues that the Rabbi had the Holy Spirit. Hat noch mit 100er Jahren zurück gesehen mit Ruach HaKodesh. He saw even hundreds of years ago with his Holy Spirit, as in Vilna, wird einmal sein Polotsker Tayen, that at some time there will be in Vilna a Polotsker Tayen, was mit Matir machen an Aguna, who will give permission to an Aguna to get married, or der Rabbad zugeschrieben zum Rambam, so the Rabbad wrote to the Rambam, as man is Menade a Talmid Chochem, was is matter an Aguna on edus, that one excommunicates a rabbi who allows an Aguna to remarry without witnesses. Und der Beit Yosef is Mosif noch, and the other authority adds more and more. Asteiger, for instance, Atamid Chokum was viert Amachlokes gegen Rabbonim, a rabbi who carries on an argument against the rabbis. Dartman dem Polotsker,
The rabbim against the majority.
Gegen Rabin, yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Against the majority. Darf man dem Polotsker Oker min Hashoresh sein, Chayrim. So you have to pull out the Polotsker by the roots, Chayrim, and excommunicate him. Okay, your turn. Yeah.
Okay. Menade sein heißt noch nicht Machrim sein. So to Menade it's a sort of a banishment rather than it doesn't actually mean excommunication. Hebt Reb Asher Anshel nicht auf dem Kopf von Sefer. Rabbi Asher Anshel doesn't lift his head from looking at the book. Und viele bei Amenude tormen euch nicht zunehmen die Chayuna. And even from someone who is banished, one may not take away his livelihood. Ob der Beis-Din gefindt es vernetig, meg men a viele die Kinder von Muchram nicht mal sein und im Bagroben Kavures Hamor. So if the court finds it necessary, one can even refuse to circumcise an excommunicated person's children, and they can refuse to bury him in and they can bury him in the fence of the cemetery. Schluckt Reb Levi Arain sein Entfer. Reb Levi brings his answer. He throws it in. Und der Kupke Rabbonim wie a Blitz wird in Tisch geschlagen. So he sort of threw this idea into this group of rabbis, like a lightning, as if lightning would have struck them. This word kupka actually means the toe of a shoe, but a kupa means a pile or a bundle, and I think in this context it means this group of rabbis. Rabbonim haben nicht mehr dem amoliken koyach, mehr leben in Goles, brummt Reb Kasriel Kahana, und sein niederig Breitkohl spreit sich aus auf die Blätter von Sefer via para. So rabbis these days, rabbis do not have the strength that they had previously. We are living in Golis, in the diaspora. Ro's Reb Kasriel Kahana and his low, broad voice spreads over the pages of the Sefer, of the religious book, like a vapor. Der Polotsker can kriegen a Zad zwischen die Freie und die Sach wird gehen zu die Warschewer Blätter, Rit Reb Shmuel Munya zu seine Tischchaverim und auf der rechten Seite und auf der linken Seite. So this, the Polotsker he could be supported by die Friar, the secular Jews,
The free the
yeah,
secular.
the
Jews,
secular
yeah.
Jews, and this matter would be publicized in the Warsaw newspapers, says Reb Shmuel Munya to his colleagues on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side of the table. Unsere Söhne wollen schreiben, als wir seinen schwarze Kreuen und als wir willen zurück einführen ferm, Malchus und die Kunde. And our enemies were right that we are like black crows and that we want to bring back the excommunication. Malchus is the lashes, and the kuna
Pillory.
this is a site which was at the entrance of a synagogue where persons condemned by the community tribunal were incarcerated, resulting and as punishment. It was like or a cell next to a synagogue, place where people could be locked up. So this is he's saying that they want to reintroduce all of these things that had fallen away, the lashes, and bringing in an excommunication. Gewiss wollen sie schreiben. Yes, they will certainly write these things. Werdet ihr nicht speil? Are you surprised? Krimmt sich Reb Levi, wie ihm wollt Hanor geton, was die Freie wollen siedeln die Frumme. So he frowned, the Reb Levi frowned, as if he was enjoying the fact that the secular, the non-religious, would curse the religious. Wir dürfen klären wegen die Kleusjiden, was krächzen, als Wilna hat nicht mehr kein Rabbonim. We should think like the Kleusjiden, the synagogue Jews who groan that Vilna no longer has any rabbis. Müssen wir beweisen, als wir schweigen nicht und rufen uns auf ihm. So should we rather keep quiet and call out on against him. Lo yavo bokohol. He should not come into the community. Oder mir dürfen machris umoidir sein als mir und nicht der Polotske-Dayen haben gehatatos. Or should we publicize and announce that it is we and not the Polotske-Dayen that have made a mistake. Die AGUNE darf mir sagen, hat gemerkt Chassene haben. This AGUNE, this woman who I can't think of the term,
Well, AGUNE is good enough. We know what an AGUNE is.
yeah, the AGUNE that she should have been allowed to get married. Seid ihr great auf dem? Are you prepared to accept this? Und Reb Levi zerlacht sich mit einer beiser Freilichkeit. wie wollt ongekwollen, was seine Chaverim von Wad seien noch sehr schwach und sie haben mehr anzunehmen Hachlote. So, are you prepared to accept this? And Reb Levi laughed with an angry joyfulness, as if he were delighting in the fact that his colleagues of on the rabbinic council were so weak that they were afraid to to make a decision. Wir haben ein Ausweg. We have one way out. Im Machrim sein, in that we need to excommunicate him. Ihr seid maskim, Reb Shmuel Munya, or do you agree, Reb Shmuel? Ich bin maskim, men soll auf ihm ausrufen an der Ziffer. I agree that we should call out a reprimand on him. A shmota, a ban, nor nit ken cherem, but not an excommunication. Infet Reb Shmuel Munya. That's what Reb Shmuel Munya answers. Men darf auf ihm nit ausrufen ken shum nidoi, brumt Reb Kasriel Kahana. We shouldn't call out a ban on him. Rod Reb Kasriel Kahana. Wir willen bloß moi dir sein, als der Wilner Wad Harabonim hat sich herausgesucht gegen Polotskes Psakdin. We should simply announce that the Vilna Rabbinic Council has pronounced against the Polotskes Psakdin, his ruling. In uns Schiris willen wir ihm zollen, and will we pay his wages? Springt Reb Levi up ahinter. Reb Levi jumped up backwards, und nicht zu stehen in die Dalet Ames von die andere Rabbonim. Ob wir sollen heraustreten gegen sein Psakdin und besticke im Zollen Schiris, wird es sein die größte Falschkeit. So Reb Levi jumped backwards as if he didn't want to remain standing in the Dalet Amos, the 4 handbreadths of the other rabbis. If we come out against the decision and we remain silent and still pay him his wages, this will be the greatest falseness. Und wenn Stott wird sich es der wissen, and when this city comes to know about this, wird man uns noch schreien und mir seinen zu boyaket. If when the city comes to hear about this, they will shout at us that we are hypocrites. Die Rabbonim krächzen aus, and the rabbis groaned. Zij seien maskim, als men soll dem Polotske daien nicht zollen kein Schiris, bis wird sich nicht absogen von sein Actiones. They agreed that they should not pay the Polotska judge any wages until he relents from his stubbornness. Reb Asher Anshel krächzt hecher von allemen und Caesar Rachmanis, and Reb Asher Anshel groaned louder than everybody else that this was, one should take pity on him. Der Polotsker hat a schlaff Weib und a krank Kind. The Polotsker has an ill wife, a weak wife, and a sick child. Reb Levi gibt sich a warf auf een Schwager wie ihm zu deutschen. And Reb Levi made a movement towards his son-in-law as if he wanted to trample him. Auf een Polotsker is mehr Rachmanis wie auf mir.
Sorry, I
Was
think
if
it's
sieht
brother-in-law. I think Schwager is brother-in-law.
You're quite right. Schwager
Sorry,
is a brother-in-law.
you can just go back.
Yeah.
I think Rab Asher Anshel krächzt het hecher von allemen als Caesar Rachmanis. He was groaning more than anyone else, that it's a pity what they're going to do. I think you said on, but I think it's ours, Caesar Rachmanis, that it is.
Okay.
Sorry, trivial.
Yeah. No. Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, so auf een Polotsker is meer Rachmanis wie auf mir. You have more pity on the Polotsker than you have on me. Even though it's been 20 years that I have not had a wife. Reb Anshel tut a Kuk mit Schreck auf een Edom und Sohn. Reb Anshel looks with fright at his, now Edom is his father-in-law, his son-in-law and his son.
Yeah.
Right. Reb Anshel is Reb Levi's brother-in-law, correct? And yeah. Okay, der Pfarr hat doch nicht gewollt sein bei dem Din Torah, and this was the reason why he didn't want to attend this court decision, court case, basically.
Yeah.
Hat gewusst, als Reb Levi kann viele in Beis Din Stibel platzen mit seiner Teines gegen der Mishpocha. He knew that Reb Levi could even burst out with his arguments against the family in the courthouse. Die Mishpocha hat doch euch nicht einmal gebeten Chassene haben. Arois nehmen a Heter und Chassene haben, stammelt Reb Asher Anshel. The family has more than once begged you to get married, to take out a Heter and to get married, stammered Reb Asher Anshel. Avada mege Chassene haben auf a Heter von Meir Rabbonim. Certainly, I could have got married with permission from 100 Rabbonim. Mein Rebbetzin kann doch nicht nehmen kein Get. Git Reb Levi a Geschrei. Reb Asher Anshelen gleich in Ponim rein. Und hat ihm gegeben für a Weib a meschugene Schwester. So, my wife is not capable of receiving a get. Reb Levi shouted out to Reb Asher Anshel straight into his face, as that he had given him a wife who was a mad wife, that he's given him his sister who was who was mad as a wife. Ich weiß, as euch mir is nicht chal der cherem der Rabbeinu Gershon. I know that the decision of Rabbeinu Gershom doesn't apply to me. Aber der
Just,
Erev Rav
can I
sucht
just
mit
ask you
1000
something?
Augen a sprinkler farov, but the masses, the rebel, looks with a thousand eyes for a blot stain against a rabbi. Und kedei die Agunes sollen nicht kennen schreien zu mir, und ihr merkt, and so that the Agunes shouldn't be able to shout at me, so you're allowed and we're not. Hab ich nicht chasne gehad, and that's the reason why I didn't marry. Chotch ich meg taka, even though I actually would be permitted to marry.
Can I just ask you something?
Sorry.
Sorry, Jacob, I was just curious. How did you understand the 100 rabbis? Is that just an expression or literally 100 rabbis?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think it's actually 100, but it's
So,
probably a large majority of rabbis,
yeah, okay, good,
if they give that decision.
right. Thanks.
I think in ancient times, if you had a decision by the Sanhedrin, which was 71, then if things could be, a law could be changed.
Right, okay,
So that's the 100. I think is just really a figure.
right. Figure of speech.
Pardon?
No, it's just a figure of speech. A lot of rabbis.
Okay, so my son has just said to me that a heter me'er rabbonim, a permission from 100 rabbis, can uh, 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 upturn the decision of Rabbeinu Gershom.
Okay,
So, okay. So it is actually a number,
right, a real number.
100 rabbonim.
Okay,
But you need 100 rabbonim in order to set aside the cherem of Rabbeinu Gershom.
okay. So in fact,
Uh,
that's actually good background for this.
Sorry, the
Oh, no, I
can you
just said that that information that in fact they used 100 is a good background information for this. Thank your son.
yeah. Well, okay. Okay. Okay, so hab ich nicht, ich merk Tage trocht sich Reb Levi herum in a Wirbelwind, wie seine Geschreien und hastige Tritt wollten einer die andere gesucht, reinzusteigen in Impet, in Wildkeit. So Reb Levi he spoke as if like a whirlwind, and he shouts and speedy steps as if they would have um, uh, the two of them, his steps and this shouting as if in a whirlwind, they were seeking to
To
exceed
even
each
be
other
higher.
in
It's übersteigen, be greater than. Uh,
be greater in force
in force, yeah.
and in wildness. Av mir is ken rachmonis nit. No one has pity on me. Chotsch ich hab 20 Jahre gefinstert, ohne Weib, und mein einzig Kind sitzt in einem Sugarhaus. So even though I have sat for 20 years in darkness without a wife, and my only child is sitting in the asylum, nor af een Polotska dayan is your Rachmonis. Yet the people have pity, take pity on the Polotska dayan. Gate, Raboisai, gate, die Asefe is geendigt. So leave, my gentlemen, this meeting has come to an end. Mir willen ton wie ihr verlangt. We'll do what you want us to do. Wir willen losen wissen, als der Wilne war der Rabbonim ist gegen dem Heter von Polotska Dayan. We will announce that the Vilna Rabbinic Council disagrees with the permission granted by the Polotska Dayan. Nor kein Cherem willen wir nicht ausrufen, but we will not announce an excommunication. Nit kein cherem, nit kein cherem. There'll be no excommunication. Geht, schreit euch Reb Levi und fallt herein in Stuhl mit vermachten Augen. Wer wollt keinem mehr nicht gewollt umgucken. So this is what Reb Levi shouted out, and he fell into the chair with closed eyes, as if he didn't want to look at anybody. Die Rabbonim, der Stointer und aufgebrachter, quetschen mit die Places und stellen sich auf, einer noch einen zweiten. So the rabbis, stunned and enraged, shrugged their shoulders, and they stood up one after the other. Reb Levi schreit auf sie wie auf unter Shamoshim, wie auf Gede English. And Reb Levi shouted at them as if they were assistant beadles, as if they were children in Gede children. Aber sie haben die Kriegerei bis über den Hals und willen sich mehr nicht reinlassen in neuem Vikuach. But they had, as far as they were concerned, this battle was had reached up to their necks, and they didn't want to get involved in a new argument. Reb Shmuel Munya und Reb Kasriel Kahana rücken sich heraus die Erste. Reb Shmuel Munya and Kasriel Kahana, they moved out of the room first. Reb Asher Anshel dankte die Hashgocha Elyoina, was sein Schwager sitzt mit vermachten Augen. And Reb Asher Anshel thanked the divine providence that his brother-in-law was sitting with closed eyes. Lässt sich Reb Asher Anshel gehen zu der Tür mit eiliger stille Tritt, und hinter ihm stülpt sich heraus sein Edem Fischelblum. So Reb Asher Anshel allowed himself to go walk towards the door with hasty, quiet steps, and behind him was his son-in-law, Fischel Blum, was pushing along behind him. Der Letzter geht heraus Jossela und warft auf den Vetter a Blick voll mit Kas und Bittel. And the last one to go out was Jossela, his nephew, who looked at his uncle with a glance full of anger and insolence. And Bittul is not insolence; it is sort of denial. Ahoza, azay zu schreien auf meinen Taten. You have got a damn cheek, you've insolent to shout at my father in this way. Where is der Maharshal? Who are you? The Maharshal, who was Reb Shlomo Luria, who lived in the 16th century. Der Vilna Gaon? Are you the Vilna Gaon? Ich kann lernen mehr von ihm, und ich kann lernen mehr von Polotska Dayan. I can learn more from him, and I can learn more from the Polotska Dayan, that's his father, than from his uncle. Ich mach eigene Teira. Now, I'm not sure what that means. I make my own laws, my own decisions.
I can't help you with that one. To me, it meant that I can study as well as anybody else. But I just looked up the meaning of Betul. Betul, according to the dictionary, is contempt, is the right word.
Contempt, yes, correct. Contempt. With contempt, yeah. Okay, the Reb Levi hält dem Kopf verworfen auf ein Onlen von Stuhl, und sein Ponym, durchgeweicht in Schweiß, krümmt sich von Chesek. Reb Levi remained sort of having thrown himself or leaning against the arm of the chair, and his face was soaked in sweat, and he was frowning in mockery. Ze kommen nicht zum Polotska's Knechler. They don't even reach the Polotska Dayan's ankles in learning. Is an oimed bedaisoi. Beis zij haben bloß in Sinnen, man soll sie nicht chippen, und es soll sein still. He is very firm in his decision, while they are simply keep in mind that no one should bother them, and that they should remain quiet and not argue. Halt zij takken var pachdonim. They regard him. He regards them as cowards. On hot niet var zijn kein brekkel der gerets. And he doesn't accept any, not even a little bit of respect for him. Reb Levi
I
öffnet die
wonder,
Augen. Reb Levi
I-
opens up his eyes, guckt sich herum in Pusten Beistin Stiebel und legt weg auf den Tisch a schwere Faust. He opened his eyes and he looked around the empty Beistin, the room, the courtroom, and he laid his heavy fist on the table. Aber für mir wird müssen haben derech Eretz. But for me, will have to have respect. Ich will ihm reutfen ad Germo. I will chase him. I will pursue him to Germo. Excommunication.
to the bitter end. I wondered about that sentence. Ich mach eigene Torah. He's a very arrogant little boy. Do you think that means I can sort things
Sorry,
out?
Michael, I can't hear you. You're
Oh,
too,
sorry.
too soft.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was wondering, that little boy Yosela is very arrogant and full of himself. And ich mach eigene Torah. Is he saying there that I can sort these things out for myself? I don't need these guys. It's just a thought.
Yes, I think I think there's a lot in that. Yeah. Yeah. Because he believes that he's studied these two Masechtas from beginning to end, and he knows everything that goes on in the two tractates.
Right.
And his decision is the correct one, and the Polotska Dayan, although he's learned, doesn't.
They're not as smart as he is.
And exactly, yeah, yeah.
It's nice when you have that element of youth.
Know-it-all attitude.
You're right, right.